When you first launch Neomath Angler, this is what you'll see. But before we start using it, let's take a quick look around. The virtual arm will appear on the left-hand side. You can move the arm and the grid axes by clicking and dragging with the mouse, as I'm doing here. On the right-hand side are 3 tabbed panes, with the tabs Control, Servos, and Scripts. At the very top are some menu items that we'll be using. View changes your overall viewpoint of the left-hand side. Scripts and waypoints are for creating and controlling scripted movements of the arm. The arm menu item has various ways to configure the arm, and settings and file have controls that you would expect. But for now, let's create a virtual robotic arm. There are 2 ways to create a virtual arm, from scratch and from a saved configuration file. Let's create one from scratch first. In the menu, go to File, select New, and notice the default number of links is 3. This is the maximum number of links that competing software can handle. However, with Neomath Angler, you can set the number of links up to 100 if you wish. I'll click OK. Now we have an arm with 100 links. I'll move the tip of the arm around using inverse kinematics. I'll force the gripper to become horizontal. But to keep it realistic, I'll clear this out and create an arm with just 4 links and 2 grip parameters. Now the gripper can swivel, as you can see there, as well as pinch. By going to the Settings menu item, I can adjust the link lengths. Just double-click there, and the first link can be set to 3 while the others are set to 1. Now we can inspect it and see the first link is about 3 times as large as the others. Also, we can change the angle limits by double-clicking, entering a new value. And if we wish to save this configuration, File, Save As, give it a name. Remember the XML file extension, and we're done. Instead of creating a virtual arm from scratch, we can more easily open an existing XML configuration file. Go to the menu, select File, Open. I'll choose this one because I know that it corresponds to a robotic arm that I have. This dialog tells me everything was uploaded correctly. Now what we have here on the left-hand side is a virtual arm in a particular configuration, one which was specified in the XML file. Also specified were the angle limits and grip limits. At the top of the right-hand side are 3 tabs. I'll click on the Servos tab, and here we have options for connecting the software to a real robotic arm which is off screen. I'll click on the Parameters button, and I'll choose the servo controller which the software will communicate with. The serial port is set to COM3. I chose that because I know it works with this computer. You should read the manual to determine the correct COM port for your computer. Select the highest value available for the baud. Here's a summary of the settings. You'll notice that the red square became a green circle. That indicates this step was successfully completed. At the same time, the next button becomes enabled. I'll click on the Connect button. The serial port is now open. The Calibrate button has become enabled. I'll click on that. You see that the numbers are filled in. These numbers came from the configuration file. I'll click OK. If I click on the Sync On button, it will synchronize the movements of the virtual arm to the real robotic arm, so that when I move the virtual arm on the left-hand side, the real robotic arm will move in the same way. But we'll save that for a different video. Now, going back to the 3 tabs at the top, I'll click on the Scripts tab. What I want you to focus on here is the middle part. These scripts were uploaded from the XML file. I'll choose this one, entitled Just for Fun, and let's run it. First, the arm will move into starting position, and I'll move the axes over here. Now if I click it again, the script will run. This script was created in about 5 minutes or so. We have some gratuitous motions there. It's easy to create other scripts. Okay, and that ends the video.